So over the last, I'd say, last like year or whatever, we have dug really deep into cold outreach traffic systems. So, okay, let me kind of break this down. So I had a conversation with a guy who does about $250 million a year in ARR. And I kind of broke down our business to him, all of our businesses, because we have the digital product, like evergreen scaling offer, completely OF unrelated. And then we also have a social media influencer digital product offer as well. And so reason why I mention these is they're very similar to OnlyFans. So OnlyFans sits underneath the umbrella of digital product. The digital product in this case is, and so we started for a while, we've been scaling social media influencers to just selling digital products, right? Some of them want to do OnlyFans, so then you get OnlyFans management. Some of them want to sell a stock trading course, so they do they're in the info side of things. Some of them want to launch a fitness app, and so they're in the fitness space or the software space. It's very lucrative when you have that skill to not just market via OnlyFans, but to also build companies around influencers in general, right? Because it's all underneath that umbrella. So when you understand the umbrella, then you can capitalize on anything that's underneath it. Now, where it's gotten really interesting is I was talking to a guy who does about $250 million a year at ARR and kind of broke down exactly what we were doing, and he didn't really enjoy the business model regarding all of the different, he didn't like all of the independencies that we have because we work with fitness, because we work with stock traders, because we work with OnlyFans creators, because we work with all these different things. And he didn't think that was smart. He said, pick one avenue, and if it means you have to just break your company down into its fundamental infrastructure and then scale back up, but just picking one ICP, one brand narrative, and scale that. And he said that'd be significantly better. Now, I'm not taking that advice entirely. Not that I feel like I know any better. I absolutely don't. But to completely crumble the OnlyFans management, the fitness, just throw that all away doesn't make entirely too much sense to me right this moment. But what it did help me understand when we were talking was, because I had kind of explained how OFM is going right now. The skills that you develop in OFM don't translate to any other industry at all whatsoever. When you hire a chatter, this would be the equivalent of a sales rep for your company. But somebody who learns how to chat would not know how to sell to save their life. Truly know how to sell, right? When it comes to cold traffic, for an example, paid ads, even warm traffic. Some of you guys have talked to, for an example, before you end up in this program. He doesn't know how to sell, right? He doesn't know how to sell to save his life. And so that means you need to teach somebody externally how to sell. All right. But then that means you need to know how to sell. Okay. But everything that you learned over the last fucking 2 years of OnlyFans management does not translate into other business. And so where this gets really interesting is when you start looking at long term, what's the best business play, what's the best move to kind of move forward. It's learning how to build your OnlyFans management company with the infrastructure of a actual business. And when you do that, you ostracize a ton of marketing acquisitions that stop making sense to do. And what I mean by this is the equivalent to follow and follow would be cold outreach, right? It would be straight up cold outreach. But we're not doing cold outreach, we're doing follow and follow for this very specific funnel. And so we also give ourselves these very specific parameters that make it even more difficult to do. When you start getting into the gray hat side of things, where you're creating, hundreds of accounts and you're doing all this follow and follow stuff, and you have all these proxies and VPSs and Cupid, and all of this stuff then blows just cold outreach complete. It just no longer makes sense. And so it doesn't correlate anymore. So I was saying, so chatters are your sales reps, theoretically, right? Your queue managers are your sales management team. And then your follow and follow would be cold outreach. Any kind of other marketing might be the equivalent to Facebook ads or whatever. And you start to see where all these correlated pieces are. But the problem with OFM is it's so unrelated. The marketing channels are so fucking unrelated to these other businesses. And so what I wanted you guys to think about when you're doing your agency, I know a lot of you guys aren't just going to like pivot like right here, right now. But one thing I think is important, and I feel like is my job to kind of keep you guys up to date. I mean, right? I mean, I feel like that's my job. I don't see OnlyFans gray hat marketing going that much fucking deeper and that much long and being viable for very long. I was just talking to a guy on the leaderboards who is doing like 150K paid subs a week. Okay. He is barely breaking even on his operation. All right. It's still making money where like $1 in is like $1.50 out. It's still profitable. But at the same time, that weight of an operation to be 1.5x ROAS doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all, right? Especially with the amount of management and the upkeep that goes in there. And it's getting to the point where it's not that OnlyFans management as a business model isn't viable anymore. It's OnlyFans management, specifically gray hat strategies for long-term scale, doesn't make sense at all. It makes sense for like short-term quick gains, make a quick 50 grand a month, do 50 grand a month for a couple months. Totally makes sense. But if you guys start thinking big picture and you start thinking like, I don't want to just be in OnlyFans to just have a quick cash grab. And that's kind of where I'm at. And that's where I feel like a lot of people in the OnlyFans industry are. It's primarily like there's no long-term vision that company has, right? So like let me kind of like explain this to you. So this isn't like a flex on the things that we're doing. This is more of like just a fucking understand like there's more to life than OnlyFans, right? So we have our digital product scaling company, but the whole point of that is to then get enough money to be able to start buying companies or buy stake in companies to have some kind of like portfolio business, right? Where we own a bunch of stake in a bunch of kind of similar to, what's that guy's name? Chris Morgan, I don't know, some fucking like really rich guy on YouTube, or even Alex Hormozy. I mean, there's a good chunk of people that have like portfolio style companies where they've understood the fundamentals of business. Because once you get to that point, the plays that you can make with that kind of surface level understanding is massive, right? Once you start understanding how to run cold traffic into businesses and make a profit, once you understand how to develop a sales team and actually know how to sell, once you understand how to create funnels and offers, like funnels, front end and back end, and the conversion rate systems on the back end, once you understand how to use automations and workflows to increase dynamic and interest and engagement, once you understand CRMs and like all of these fundamentals, you can then take these skills and create a business that will allow you to be so, it's not even necessarily the business, it'll give you the skill set to be so fluid in life where no matter where the turn of the market goes, you're chilling, right? Because you know how to drive traffic to companies and make them money. You know how to create a front end and a back end. You know how to create an offer that is like just irresistible. You know how to make it make sense. Like for an example, like let's say one of you guys got really good at Facebook ads and you knew how to run Facebook ads and turn a fucking company into a more profitable company by proxy of you knowing Facebook ads. Do you understand how valuable that skill would be? And I'll put it like this. You can go to any company and say, hey, I will run your marketing for you. You don't need to make anything. You don't need to make any ads. You don't need to do anything. Let me run your ads for 30 days for you completely free. I'll take on the risk. I'll front the ad set cost. Any money that comes in on the front end from my funnel, let me keep 30% of it. Or let me keep 100% of it until it covers my ad spend, or I'll just let you keep the money. Like, let's just make it so good, right? I'll let you keep all the money. I'll front all the ad spend. If I make you more money at the end of the 30 days, let's sign a contract next month. Who's going to say no to that? Who's going to say no? If Matt came to me and was like, Hunter, I'm going to run ads for your business. I'll do it for free. If it turns a profit, hire me. If it doesn't, forget about it. And you don't even need to do anything. Okay, fuck yeah. Then next month, he barely breaks even. I'm like, sure, let's do it one more month. he closes to $20K an extra in bottom line or top bottom line. I'm going to hire him on the spot. I'm going to give him 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month. Right? And that number right there is more than some of you guys are making from OnlyFans. But that type of agreement and that type of contract exists. It literally is out there. We do it every day. Like, companies literally pay us every single day 10 grand to just, like, I mean, look. The companies will just pay us just 10 grand to give them something for free. If it turns a profit, then pay us. Right? That is like creating that, but you can only do that when you have fundamental skills, when you expand your horizons, when you understand, and we're moving into 2026, right? So happy New Year's. This year, I really want you guys to focus on developing true business skill, like true fundamental business fucking skill. Because OnlyFans is going to be great again for 2026. But what happens in 2027 or 2028? What happens when shit starts hitting the fucking fan? What happens? You get screwed. You're going to get fucking screwed. You're done. You're out of the market. And then you're going to have to start learning new things. I'm not saying you're going to go homeless and you're going to go get a regular job again, but I am saying there's going to be a year straight of you needing to learn an entirely new thing because you didn't take the time and the advantage of it now. OnlyFans money needs to fuel your big picture. And that's it. Your big picture can be totally OnlyFans. Like, it totally can be. But the gray hat subsect of OnlyFans, that doesn't make sense. Okay? And so there are all of these systems that you need to understand going into 2027. I know it's 2026. Going into 2027, take the year to fully understand them. 2027, make it a $10 million year that you're not going to do in OnlyFans management. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to do it. So use the money that you're making from OnlyFans right now to develop business skill and then pivot. I'm not saying get out of OnlyFans entirely. That's not like the point of this conversation. The point of this conversation is to like take advantage of this year to develop like true business skill, sales, marketing, management, funnel creation, offer creation, product creation, all of these things. Because then guess what? All you need to ask yourself at this point is, and I'll kind of just speak, there are people out there who need something. Theoretically, all I need to do is create that something and put it in front of them. Like, that's it. That's all business is. There are people out there that have needs. If you can just create that need digitally and then get the audience to put that in front of, you make money. Like, that's really basic. And it's really like, it's like where you want to be. Because like, that's where you want to sit as a person. And as like with the understanding that there are people out there that need something, I can be the one that make it to them, and I know how to get it in front of them. So it doesn't matter what fucking industry it is, you can just do it. It could be, I'll answer that question, don't worry. You can fucking do that in any industry. Fitness. Let's just pick fucking fitness for an example. There are fitness influencers out there right now, micro niche influencers, 10 to 250,000 followers, who have an audience who aren't charging for coaching because they don't know how to, or they are charging for coaching, but it's $250 a month. That's cheap. Increase that to fucking 250 times 12, whatever that would be. Have them pay up front for the full year, high ticket, make them more money, right? You could just pick that, right? And you could turn that fucking personal training, $250 a month, into a high ticket coaching offer. Make them significantly more money, and they'll give you a fat chunk of that, a fat chunk. And the marketing acquisitions around that are actually cooperating with the monopoly. Facebook is going to say, thank you for giving me money. I'm going to make sure that you get the audience that you want. Do you understand that? Like, these platforms are designed, Facebook ads, like these Google ads, YouTube ads, LinkedIn, everything are all designed to make you more money. Facebook's multi-billion dollar valuation is not because of the social platform. It's worth hundreds of billions of dollars because of the advertising. But it wouldn't be worth hundreds of billions of dollars if the advertising didn't work. And so when it works for you, they make sure that you get results so that you spend more money with them. They want you to make money. That's the goal. So you run Facebook ads and you get one sale and your fucking pixel fires, it immediately finds you somebody who's exactly like that because they have so much data. I don't know if you guys realize, but like billboards work because Facebook can track when your Facebook account is near the billboard. So that's how they know what the conversion rate on the billboard is, right? You ever wonder, like, how the fuck do people even know if their billboards are converting? Well, it's because Facebook is picking that up from your phone and is signaling that's a page visitor. So then when you interact with it, it syncs the two. Your Facebook account interacted with that ad. Boom, there it is. So what that means is Facebook literally has access to every single person in the entire world. I think there's like 5 billion Instagram users or Facebook users or 3 billion or something. Like a third of the world. You don't think that they know how to get what you're selling into the right person, in the right audience? They know exactly. All it needs is for you to specify the type of person that you want. If you just want people that are buying fucking fitness coaching, Facebook can literally put your program right in front of the person who's going to buy it with no resistance. Because that's how good Facebook is. Because it can reach any person in the world. You just need to tell it who you want. And the point that I'm trying to make here is that exists for every business out there. You can market every single business out there. And you can inject a sales team to every single business out there. You can make any business more money by just simply having fundamental skills for business. And just understand that OnlyFans is not teaching you anything. Every other business in the world, you can pull a lot from, right? Let's say you're an SMMA or you're a mom and pop shop, right? You need some kind of marketing, you run ads, you learn Facebook ads. The only thing that OnlyFans teaches you is client management. But a lot of you guys run like 1 or 2 creators. You fucking vertically scale. So you don't even have client relations. You don't even know how to manage it. You don't even know how to manage people. And so you're not pulling that from it. So realistically, the only thing you're pulling is maybe organizational like systems, team structure. But then I talked to a good amount of you guys in the OFM licensing, and you don't even have a team structure. So you didn't pull that out of that either. It doesn't mean that you haven't progressed, okay? I'm not trying to be rude at all. It doesn't mean that you haven't progressed. You know more about business now than you did. Great. Understood. More so what you know is what it takes to succeed. You've done it once. You've made money on OnlyFans management. You now know the amount of hours that need to go into it, the communications with your team, the effort. You know all of that. That same exact thing is applied in every business. The same thing. You've done it once, you can do it again. Right? So you pull that from it, but you don't pull anything else fundamental out of it. And so one thing, let's say, and like I said in the beginning of this isn't like to fucking get you out of OnlyFans, but it might spark something in you to update the way that your agency is structured, to going horizontal, to providing real strong management, optimization on the front end, optimization on the back end, the chats, right? Really developing an agency, photo shoots, flying them out to Airbnbs, getting all of this stuff sorted, content, organic, sending SOPs, like true management. Okay, doesn't mean vertical scale marketing on each one of these creators. That's so far from what it means. But what it means is you can then take that skill, extract it out of the OnlyFans business and go and do it elsewhere. It means you now have fundamental skills, and it means that you can also scale your agency significantly. And there's these tactics that you can use that I post on my YouTube channel that I know a lot of people don't like watch the videos or whatever, get a couple hundred views, whatever. But we talk about things that we do out of, and some of you guys ask me, like, how are you so creative? Like, how do you think of like these creative ways that you market and manage and structure and stuff? It's because we're not just fucking OnlyFans. So like, for an example, when we talk about increasing the bottom line of like our OnlyFans creators, nobody, like that video I just posted like a week or two ago, I don't know, I don't manage my content distribution. The video that went up about increasing the bottom line of your creators by introducing DMCA takedowns, extra marketing services, content reviews, photo shoots, stuff like that, just to increase the bottom line and take your 25% contract that you have with the creator, accounting, so on, adding multiple services to increase the LTV of the client. That right there takes agencies from let's say a bottom line of, let's say 100 grand a month to 250 grand a month by just adding multiple services, but they don't even fucking think about it. They add it all to management. They make their package of management so deep that they're covering so many costs that they can't even turn a profit, or they barely turn a profit. And so it scares a lot of people out of the agency world because they're like, well, I'm only taking 25%. Well, no, you're a fucking idiot. You can make a lot more than 25%. You just need to charge for more things. But you bundled everything into a 25% agreement. DMCA takedown, photo shoots, everything. And you cover the cost on all of it. So you're scared to start an agency because you feel like the 25% is too low. Charge for more things. Make it a real business. Help these creators scale their personal brand and express to them the importance of scaling the personal brand, and then build business relationships with these creators so that you can take what they've built and scale it elsewhere. You know who just did that fucking phenomenally? Camilla and her management. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I don't know if you guys know Camilla. She does like 1.4, 1.5 million a month on OnlyFans. She's one of the biggest OnlyFans creators in the world. And she got to that point in her management just pivoted her from OnlyFans to info. So she has this massive audience of people who want to do what she did, wants to make millions of dollars. They took her completely off OnlyFans and pivoted her into info. And now she's teaching other OnlyFans creators how to scale their own brand and do what she did. So she's the biggest OnlyFans creator ever, and she just pivoted. Brilliant. Her management is brilliant. Not her. Her management is brilliant. Because they built this thing that is actually valuable outside of just fucking sexting scripts. And I can only imagine how much they're about to make on this fucking info offer, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is you can position yourself for a long-term play. I'm gonna start this OnlyFans agency. I'm gonna scale 60 models. I'm gonna then increase my LTV on these models and the AOV. I'm gonna scale this. I'm gonna make as much money from these creators as I can. I'm gonna help them develop their personal brands, and then we're gonna turn and we're gonna take that audience and we're gonna dump it into something else. Now you just built something big. Something long-term, big vision, goals, right? One of the things that you can do is like understanding lead generation, right? Lead generation is more than just fucking rip and follow, unfollow, and Threads location strategy, okay? Because when you sign a new creator who's doing, let's say, 20K a month, guess what? At 20K a month with a 9 to 6 month churn rate on that creator, let's say you're taking 30% from her and she's doing 10K a month. So you're bringing in about $3,000 per month for 9 months. That's 27 grand. That 27 grand, theoretically, right? You could take 26 grand of that and tell her, hey, I'll give you $26,000 if you bring me one of your friends who's also on OnlyFans. Do you understand the incentivization to go and do it? Some of you guys offer referrals to your creators. Be like 5%. Who the fuck is going to do that? If somebody came to me and was like, hey, I'm getting ready to launch this business. If you know anybody, I'll give you 5%. Sweet. I don't know if it's going to be successful. I don't know if I'm going to make any money from it. I don't know if I'm wasting my time. I know nothing about it. But if he came to me and said, hey, I have $25,000 for you if you can find me this person, I'm going to get off of my chair and I'm going to go and find that person. That's 25 grand to me. And so you can anchor that as well. And you can say, listen, and it doesn't need to be 25 grand or 26 grand. I'm giving a point like where incentivization makes a massive fucking difference. You can give a creator $5,000. A creator is more likely to refer you to somebody who's going to, when you give her $5,000 opposed to a 5% referral. And so you can also anchor that and you can say, hey, I'm giving away $50,000 this month or this year to affiliates. And so I have about $50,000 for you. I'll give you $5,000 a pop or $10,000 a head, right? Knowing what your churn rate is. So then that anchors it because now they have the $50,000 in their mind and that's their primary focus is getting that $50,000. And so they have so much incentive to bring you this opposed to saying, hey, I'll give you 5% referral. Of what? Of what money? Like, what does that equate to? How much money am I going to make? And then the agency will just slyly take it out of how much their invoice is every month. So they don't even know how much they're making from the referral. They have no incentive to just keep printing you more creators. But these are things that you understand when you get out of the fucking headspace of an OnlyFans manager and you understand the headspace of a business owner. And so it's a small pivot, but it's a ginormous difference between how you operate the business and how you scale or how you operate and scale the business. So I will literally talk to people in the licensing group, and they'll be like, I'm trying to scale my agency. I have 10 models right now. I can't figure out how to scale it. Okay, well, first and foremost, you want to scale your income or more creators? Because that's completely different. Income. Okay, well, let's add accounting. Let's add this. Let's add this. Well, I don't know an accountant. Well, fucking find one. Connect with one. Of course they're going to take you on. If they're charging $600 a month in accounting fees, you can bring them 10 creators. You can bring them all these people, maybe get that price down, charge all your models $2,500, $1,000, take an extra $500 overhead on 10 creators. It's $5,000 right there to increase your income by $5,000. Then start charging DMCA takedowns. Then start charging for creator meetups and shit. There are all these things that you can add. You know how much the creator is making. So you know how much they can afford, right? Alongside that, you want to scale horizontally. You want more creators. Well, sweet. What have you done? Well, I offered a 5% referral. You idiot. 5% of what? Where's the incentive? 5% of fucking what? They don't know how much the creator is making. If they do, 5% of $100,000 is only $5,000. They're already making $30,000. $5,000 extra is really not that big of a deal. So like, it's not that it's not a lot of money, but I have to go through all the work of messaging her and convincing her. Right? And so the bigger the incentive up front, cash up front, guaranteed, mitigates their risk, increases the likelihood of them doing it, increases their dream outcome. All of these things happen as soon as you put a number to it, a monetary value to it. So an agency route is probably one of the best things that you. So I'm essentially saying this, okay? If you're staying in the OnlyFans space, great. If you're in the gray hat space, great. Use that money to fund a new fundamental understanding for business so that you're not trapped in a couple years. If you're in the agency space, great. Scale your agency and start understanding business more, okay? That is the point of this conversation, is not to try and get you out of OnlyFans, but to help you take 2026 like advantage of 2026 so that 2027 doesn't roll around and you fucking feel like you're trapped. The only thing you're trapped within the handcuffs of OnlyFans management because it's the only thing you know. I know multiple guys right now that I talk to that are like, man, I'm getting so sick of OnlyFans. I'm tired of accounts getting banned. I'm tired of needing to fix this every week. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. But the only reason I'm not pivoting is because I don't know what else to do. And that's probably a lot of you guys are probably so sick of threads just stopping working. Follow and follow. Just something happening. Instagram accounts getting banned. Something happening. You're probably so fucking sick of it. Creators not doing anything. Totally. I get it. And that's never going to stop in the OnlyFans space. All right? And so don't be the person who's like, man, I'm so fucking sick of this, but then literally has no other option. Think of that and say, okay, I'm sick of this. Let's continue to use this to fund a bigger vision that I know is going to have a better outcome. It's called a trade-off. And a lot of business fucking guru people are going to tell you that you need to pick one thing, you need to stick with it through the ups and the downs, and you never turn your back on it, blah, blah, blah. But I'm telling you that a trade-off is okay. When you do a fundamental analysis on, here's where I am, this is my long-term vision, this is my dream outcome for like emotionally and externally, I want to feel this way. It's not just a physical thing, right? We all want the millions of dollars in the cars and everything, okay? But then there's that emotional thing as well. You need to understand where you want to be emotionally, where you want to be physically, externally, etc., and build to that. And if OnlyFans doesn't make sense to build towards that, use OnlyFans as a tool to get you there. Don't use OnlyFans to get you there if it can't get you there. If your number is like you want $10 million in your bank account, I'm telling you right now, gray hat scaling OnlyFans, I don't think is going to do it for you. I mean, some of the greatest people in the OnlyFans industry haven't even done that, gray hat wise. Okay, I haven't made $10 million fucking liquid from gray hat scaling. Nathan Aston hasn't. Nobody has from gray hat scaling. So if your number's 10 million, you really need to fucking make an adjustment. If your number's like a quick million, great, you can totally do that. But then just understand that you're going to want more. So let's start planning for that. Let's start planning for our future. Let's start planning for a bigger long-term goal. That is what is important. And everything is in sync. You just need to find the correlation. Inflow is HubSpot. Inflow is Go High Level. Inflow is Close.io. Okay, that is still a thing. It's just a different CRM. Chatters are salespeople. And you can get agencies for salespeople like Closers.io, like Sales.io. Like all of these things have the correlation. You just need to piece them together, start learning fundamental skills that allow you to be a successful business owner over a longer period of time. And I promise you, you're going to make a lot more money by doing so. I'm not saying this is like you're not gonna have the bumps in the roads like you do with OnlyFans. Of course you are. We have so many bumps in the road. Sales guy's not good. Sales guy's not fucking following up with the leads. Sales guy's not sending value dense things. Like there's so many things that are going to happen. There's so many bumps in the road, right? That's going to happen. That's a for sure thing. But the point I'm trying to make is the average income for an OnlyFans manager is probably like $30,000 a month. Okay, maybe no, it's not. It's probably like $2,000 a month. But the average person in business on like, let's say digital scaling, SMMA, etc., is probably 10 to 20 grand. And the point that I'm trying to make there is like, I don't know a single person who's making $1 million a month in profit, liquid, month over month over month over month in the OnlyFans industry, let alone $100 million a year. But I do know a handful of people that are doing $500 million a year in the digital marketing space. It's a no-brainer. If that's the possibilities over there, and I'm going to be on the lower echelon of that, the lower echelon is still going to be higher than the higher echelon of OnlyFans management, unless you have an agency. I mean, I'm specifically talking like gray hat here. So I hope this like wasn't too like invasive, because it was more, and I hope it didn't like ruin your fucking new year. It's really important to me that you guys build something that's going to be there in the next couple years. And OnlyFans has just been, it's not scaring me, but it scares me for the people who don't have anything but OnlyFans knowledge. Because I talk to some of the guys that are just OnlyFans, and I'm like, oh my God, you have business. So you use OnlyFans management as a tool, as a business, to help you get to your main vision. And then Garrett, you asked best places to learn some of these business skills. Oh, Charlie Morgan is his name. Okay. But Charlie Morgan YouTube videos, Alex Hermosa YouTube videos. Who's the other one? Sam Ovens. These are guys that literally just build companies. That's all they do. They scale businesses. And the easiest business model in the world right now that I would say is OnlyFans in 2020 is influencer arbitrage based digital product scaling. Okay. And this is literally OnlyFans management. I swear to God, it's the same fucking thing. You take a creator who has a following, who's an influencer, you build her something to sell her audience. So instead of her selling, she's selling a fucking digital product. This could be a course, this could be a software, this could be an ebook, this could be a fitness program, this could be so many things. But it expands your horizon so much. Because there's so many people that don't want to do OnlyFans, but they would do X, Y, and Z. And so the next time you're pitching and they don't want to do OnlyFans, let them know you can scale something else. It's the same thing. Use Lovable to create the product, have her promote it, you get 30%. It's the same thing. Don't hire chatters, hire salespeople. That's it. It's the same exact business model because it's digital products. It's the same fucking thing. So like we do cold outreach for a good amount of our offers, like for signing influencers and whatnot. We have a 20% response rate on cold outreach. The reason why I'm telling you this is the equivalent to follow and follow, but there's one big difference. Your accounts don't get banned when you just do regular cold outreach. They don't get banned. They don't get banned. So you can hammer 50 new leads every single day, 20% response rate, and depending on how good your hook is if they're going to fucking sign with you or not. Okay, when you pitch somebody in the DMs cold and you just say, hey, I have an opportunity for you, I'm going to say, I don't fucking need your opportunity. I don't know what the opportunity is. I'm not going to waste my time talking to you because as soon as I respond, you're not going to respond instantly. And I'm so used to AI now where I like everything fucking instantly. It's like my thumbnail designer. I'm like, hey, I need you to make these thumbnails. And he's like, thank God AI hasn't taken my job yet. And I'm like, wait. So I fucking I tell ChatGPT what I want, and it gives me the fucking thumbnail. And then he literally is like, wow, that was better than I could have made. I'm so used to fucking speed, like getting shit done so fast that I don't have time to wait for people anymore. So you tell me you have a fucking business opportunity. I say, yeah, what's up? I have to wait for like 30 minutes to an hour, maybe 24 hours to get a response. I'm not going to respond to you. But if you send me a Loom, and I open the Loom because I see it's a link, I'm going to open it, and I know it's a Loom, I know it's trusted. Click on the link. He says, how I'm going to get Hunter a Rolls-Royce Ghost in the next 1 year. I'm going to watch the video. I'm going to watch it. So depending on how good your hook is on the cold outreach is how well your outreach generation system will do. You guys all have access to Profitable as well. Profitable just went through a massive revamp. And Profitable you guys all have access to it. You can learn how to generate products. You can learn influencer arbitrage. You can learn all the shit. I gave you guys all access to it for free. We literally charge our clients like $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 for this. So you guys get it for free. Watch through it. Learn it. Understand it. I'm not saying pivot out of OnlyFans management. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying where is Profitable? It's inside of the OFM licensing. It's a little tab. It's a full fucking info product on how to do this. What I'm saying. Yeah, it's on the WAP. And I'm telling you right now, it will make a lot more sense as you like even attempt to expand the horizon. And the cold outreach systems, for an example, is just so powerful. 20% response rate right now. Can you even believe that? Imagine 20% of the people you reach out to respond with a good enough hook. That's insane. And then if you can convert 5% of that, you're making fucking cash. So it's like, okay, well, I don't really have a business. So how am I going to get these people to trust me? Right? I'm doing cold outreach. I want to scale. I want to build them a digital product and sell it or whatever. Like, how am I going to get these guys to trust me? Why are they going to sign with me? Well, you're going to take all of the objections that you get and you're going to build it. So one of the objections that we had gotten was our landing pages just looked scammy because when they would remove the subdomain and just go to the main domain, it was like, it just didn't make sense. It was scammy. So that was our objection to like the authenticity. So we developed an actual website that has blogs, that has like things that we've built. Like it's a full-blown website that gives that trust and authority. All right. Then we made an Instagram. We didn't really have anything to post on it. And so we fucking came up with just random shit to post on it. Made a few videos that are just like high value shit. And that right then and there, we stopped hearing the objection about credibility and we started closing more sales. So you just need to put on the front the visceral effect that you're an established company. When you answer the call, are you wearing a nice shirt? Do you know the things to say? Do you have a framework of the sales call? Because with enough credibility, they're not even going to fucking ask or with enough confidence, they're not even going to ask if this is a legit company. But then you need to learn sales. You need to learn like simple techniques, like a fucking temp check, where you ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, you know, like how, and it's how you say it, right? Like there's literally ways that you can ask people, like, there's so many strategies when it comes to sales, okay? And it's a full new thing that you need to learn. Sales gets like pretty deep. Like for an example, if you want to qualify somebody when the first 20 minutes of being on the call, but you don't really necessarily want to ask them for their income. And I'm saying this in a way that I wouldn't say it on the call, but it's because I'm talking fast and, you know, being serious, whatever. But you can say something along the lines of, "Oh, it's link broken. I'll send it. I'll make a new link for you." I think because we revamped it. Does that make sense? You can say something along the lines of, and the only reason I'm telling you this is like so you kind of understand like the correlation between strategies and OFM because it's literally the same thing. It's fucking the same thing. So tell me, you're currently doing this. That sounds good. Okay. Now, ideally, you kind of mentioned you want to get to like that 20, 25K a month mark. All right. Yeah. Okay. With that being said, let's kind of take this at phase one. Let's do this. Phase one, so 20K is like the end goal. So phase one, we'd want to substitute. So tell me, how much income would we need to generate from this in order for you to quit doing that? They're like, probably about like $6,000. I now just found out exactly how much money they're making. They're making about $6,000. But I didn't ask them how much they're fucking making. Sales. And this is a sexting script strategy. Like, it is literally what you do is sexting. You make them, you say things to, I don't know if the word's manipulate, but you go under the rug, you go behind the curtain, like whatever it is. You come up with these strategies that get people, you influence people in a certain way, you make them feel a certain thing, you cross-reference what their internal desires, their external desires, like you do all of these things. It's sexting. It's literally a sexting script. It's the same thing on a sales call. And so what's going to happen is you're going to sign your first client and you're going to need to get ready to scale their business. You can scale their business with cold outreach, just right then and there. And every single business is going to have a different like cold outreach thing, which is also important to understand. Like LinkedIn, for an example, is great for like B2B. But if you're selling like a sales course or something, I don't know, Instagram cold outreach probably is not going to do that for you. But if you're reaching out to influencers, Instagram's probably the best way to do it. But if you plan to reach out to females, good luck. You're not going to get a response at all. So you need to reach out to men. But then you can reach out to men that are your ICP and try and pitch them. Or you could reach out to men who have your ICP as their audience and pitch them on working with you and then utilizing their audience and splitting the revenue. So instead of hitting individually 150,000 people, you hit one person and then use the 150,000 that he's already accumulated. And we know people are doing this because it's got a very, 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 very big name. It's called a brand deal, an affiliate, right? So we know that this is a big industry. And there's so many different routes that you can take with this that you can make so much money from that's so similar to OnlyFans. So it doesn't require you to ostracize OnlyFans management. It just requires you to expand your horizons. And then as you expand your horizons, your OnlyFans management is going to get better by extension of it because you're going to understand business more, right? Alongside that, I mean, you get one person to pay you fucking 10 grand and that's the equivalent of, I don't know, 500 paid subs. You only had to work for one person opposed to 500 of them. See what I mean? Like that's a big difference. Just work for one person or work for 500 people. Because your LTV is never going to exceed like $50. It'll never exceed $50. But your LTV can easily exceed $15,000, which is the equivalent of like getting 500 people. So the same amount of work to get fucking one person is the same amount of is less work than it is to get 500 of them. So the input and output is just is exponential as well. It's wild. But other than that, I don't really have too much more to say. I think that I covered all the grounds that I gotta cover. There's a lot, so like don't expect to just go in there and be like, yeah, I got it all down. Like there is a lot. That's what I'm saying. Take 2026 to just develop that, to start. And then by 2027, you're going to be fucking crushing it. And I'm in it for the long term too. So like, don't think like it's like a bad thing either. We know for a fact, in order for us to do 10 million this year, it's most likely not going to happen. And that's a sad reality of it, which it's such small numbers too. Like that's the thing that just sucks about this whole thing. Like 10 million is not a lot. Like it is a lot. Like I've never done 10 million in a year profit. Flat out, just like 10 million profit, like after taxes, everything. And so it's a lot. And when I had my team meeting with my you can take a guess, my team this morning, we kind of discussed and we were like, okay, we have a linear growth progression through like our business scaling, paid ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, LinkedIn, cold outreach systems, etc. That right there on its current trajectory won't make us 10 million this year. It won't. It literally will not. So we need something that can be exponential. And so we have our YouTube channels going, right? And our YouTube channel has the potential for an exponential growth. But the likeliness of it is very little. And so we kind of came to the conclusion that we will do it, right? Because we're dedicated to it. That's how the world works. If you're dedicated towards something, you will get it 100% of the time. We're dedicated to it, so we'll get it. But it's going to be in like 3 to 5 years from now. So don't when I say like it's going to take you the year, don't like let that scare you. We plan long term as well. We totally plan like 4 or 5 years out. And there's times where like when we made this pivot that we lost money a few months. Straight up, like we lost money. Like we went into the red from fucking staff and occasional refunds and certain things. Like we went red, and it's scary and it sucks because you're back to the beginning. But understand that that's okay. Like, it's totally okay. It's called a trade-off. And it's totally fine to do. But don't let the 1 year of learning scare you, because that's where we're at too. We're still like 4 or 5 years out from like, doing $10 million a year. I'm confident we're going to be able to do it. Maybe we're closer. We're gonna put our heads down and we're gonna fucking try our absolute best to crush it. But just don't let the 1 year of learning scare you. It's personal development, it's personal growth, it's business growth. And never ask yourself, like, when is this going to be done? When am I going to get there? Just ask yourself, how far can I go? How much better can I get? That's the type of mentality that you need to have when you're on this, like this journey. It's like, how far can I go? How good can I get at this? And that's where we're at too. And that's okay. We're all there. I'm not doing 250 million a year. Fuck, I wish. I make good money, but I'm definitely not where I want to be. And in order for me to get there, I had to pull back in order to do it. And that's just the reality of it. Like, that's just how life is. That's how business is. And that's okay though. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's where we're at. 2026, the year of learning and developing and growing, and that's really all it's going to be. And then hopefully 2027, 2028, it's nothing but executing and fucking really blowing up. Like, that's like the main goal, and that should be your guys' goal too. Totally. Any questions?
Yeah, a lot. So, I mean, I feel like kind of what Garrett was saying was, you want to get out of OFM, it's stagnant. I feel like, I could make more money elsewhere, but if I'm making 100K per month, of course, I don't want to lose that. And for me, I feel like it's hard to kind of pretty much outsource. Like, there's just so much that I have to do personally. Like, say if I want to learn a new marketing strategy, how am I supposed to outsource that without doing it and learning it and going through the tribulations, the errors myself in order to teach it to someone else to handle everything? So how do you have multiple businesses running, and have time?
Oh my God, I know. And I want to make it clear, I'm not telling you to pivot out of OnlyFans. I'm telling you to gain a better understanding for business so that it amplifies your OnlyFans business. That was the main point of the conversation. Pivoting out of OnlyFans, not necessarily. Like, long-term, yes. Like, long-term pivot out. But mostly, it's either one, if you've been wanting to pivot out of OnlyFans, this is your chance. If you don't want to pivot out of OnlyFans, expand your horizons so that you can amplify your OnlyFans business, help you be more creative. People ask me all the time, like, how the fuck do you come up with such creative ways to do this shit on OnlyFans? They ask me all the time. Like different strategies. Like, how did you come up with this? It's only because I expanded my horizons elsewhere that then led me to that. And then to answer your primary question, oh my God. Outside of 15-hour workdays, I spend a lot of my time combining people. Like, that's literally what we do. Like, that is the number one thing, is hiring. And it sucks and it's slow, but you can make it a skill. You can make it a talent. We have a guy who's working with us, Alan, who is so incredibly smart and educated and fast and good, and he works 20-hour day. Like, he fucking crushes. But I didn't just get to Alan for my first hire. I had to practice hiring. I had to hire, I had to test, I had to train, I had to fire. I had to hire, I had to test, I had to train, I had to fire. Over and over and over and over and over again. And that's a part of it. But once you find one person who can take all the stress off your shoulders, your entire life changes. And I have an entire resource on hiring A players as well that I can send you if you want. I think I sent it to your partner. And so outside of the 15-hour workdays that I do every single day, every single day, 15 hours. Practicing hiring and firing. But then number 3, you do the fucking trials and the tribulations. You do them. And you have to. And there's no other way around it. There's no other way around it. Nothing. There's literally no other way. So you have to find blocks in your schedule to and I know for a fact, each one of you guys has like an extra 3 or 4 hours a day that's kind of free. If you really time blocked your schedule, if you got really good at being really productive, you would find a little extra time. And you couldn't tell me otherwise, because Elon Musk has like multiple trillion-dollar companies, and he's still fucking tweeting up a storm. Okay, if he has the time, we have the time. And so as time gets limited, you need to learn to prioritize. And this is what you need to. This is something you're going to learn. Is a lot of the times you'll do things. Let's say you have a to-do list of things. Some of you guys maybe fall victim to this, because I know I did, totally. You have a to-do list of like 20 things. And so your first immediate thing to do is knock off the easy things first, and then dive into the hard things and get those knocked out. But the art of prioritization doesn't say knock out easy things first. It says knock out first things first. Okay? And it's a small little shift, but it allows you to inject or understand the Pareto's principle, the 80-20 rule of 80% of my outcome is going to come from 20% of the things that I do. And so if I preemptively strategize that 20% and I do that 20%, then 80% of the results will come. I can forget about the rest of the stuff. I can delegate it. And so the stuff that I'm delegating is typically something that my VAs and shit can do. But then the 80% of the results, the 20% of things that I need to do, I'm going to have time to do them because I'm doing first things first instead of easy things first, right? So a good mixture of it is prioritization. It's working long hours and it sucks, but it's not forever, right? We work hard because we have a goal. And when we get the goal, we probably keep working because now the goal is too small. But at some point you feel like there's going to be an end goal, right? I know at some point I want hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars and I want to work because I just love working, but my work is going to be different. My work is going to be commanding a fucking army. That's what I want, right? And my time, my schedule is going to open up a lot. But it really is hiring, firing, practicing the art of prioritization. But I mean, I hope that answers your question. And there's no easy route around it either. Like that's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was literally driving to the office today, and I'm like, I need to get better at hiring talent, and so it's definitely a skill set I got to learn.
Yep. It is, and it's something you'll get better over time. Like for an example, my buddy's really good at it. Like really good at it. His name is Kyle. He needed his. He's just getting into the info game. A few months, and he needed something done on Go High Level, but he didn't want to sit there and learn Go High Level. And so he made a job post on Upwork. And he filtered through 3 people and then finally found one who was able to build out exactly what he needed, right? And now he's hiring that guy into his company full time. He's really good at hiring and like and doing that. You just got to like really put the practice in and then it'll become secondhand nature. And he's really good at it. I refuse to put a job listing on Upwork. For some reason, it just doesn't seem like something I want to do. But he does it, and he's so good at hiring talent.
I got banned on Upwork, so I got to gray hat my way around it. But yeah, that's what I got to do.
That's hilarious. Any other questions, homies?
Yeah, I got another one if no one else has. It's kind of a little off topic with OFM. It's kind of more about info. The first question is, do you believe that info can scale more than OFM revenue-wise? Okay. And second, I was considering doing like the info myself, like selling the info, like VA loan stuff that I'm familiar with. But for the longest time, I thought that you need 100,000 followers to, make a lot of money. And I just recently came to the realization, someone told me that you can make a ton of money with 5K, 10K followers because those followers are pretty much like your target followers. What's your opinion on that?
You don't need any following at all. Like not even a drop. We do info product launches for like kids at our school, or kids that I used to go to school with. They have like 500 followers on Instagram, but they're really good at real estate. We launch their info products and they rip because it has nothing to do with the person. It has everything to do with the company, the brand.
So if I want to teach people how to use like VA loans,
yeah, you totally can, and that has nothing to do with your personal social media influence following. Because when you put Facebook ads out there. There's a lot of misconceptions. A lot of people think that you need like videos and shit to do Facebook ads. Some of our highest converting ad sets come from like AI generated ChatGPT model photos. And we don't even link them to personal Instagram accounts. We link them to brand accounts. So they don't even know that I have any following at all. Actually, my marketing team prefers me to not use my Instagram because brands do better.
And so with just that strategy with no personal branding, it's just Facebook ads, you think even that could make more than OnlyFans?
Significantly more. Facebook ads and micro niche YouTube channels, stuff like that. Totally. All right. It's been about an hour and it's been a little over an hour now, so I'm going to hop off. But it was good seeing you guys today. I hope that this brought some kind of insight. I hope this was high level and you gain something out of this. But I'll see you guys next Thursday. Yeah, 7th. Yeah, I'll see you guys next Thursday. Peace out, boys.